So welcome to the next video. So past few videos we have been doing some examples on functions. So here also we are going to do the same. One more example and last example on functions. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to combine our last two functions and create a set for understanding that why are we actually doing programming in functions and how can we keep on reusing those functions. Okay. So we have already covered written two functions. So first one is to find factorial of number. So this is over. Second is to convert degree to radians. So this we have already done. So this video, what we will see is we will try to write a function which will take in an angle theta in degrees and return the sine of angle. Okay. So the logic that we are going to follow is this: sine of any angle, let's say x, can be written as x minus x cubed by 3 factorial plus x raised to 5 upon 5 factorial. Sorry, 5 factorial minus x raised to 7 upon 7 factorial plus so on up to infinity. So this is a series for sine. This is what is known as Taylor series. Okay. So basically sine of an angle is expressed as the sum of some numbers, right? And one thing that you have to always remember here is this x is in radians. Okay. So this expansion is what we are going to use now to find our sine of the given angle. Okay. So the general equation that we can simply write like this. Same equation from I equal to 0 to infinity minus 1 raised to I divided by 2i plus 1 factorial times x raised to 2i plus 1. Okay. So this is basically you are basically denoting all this entire summation of certain numbers. Okay. So for example, if I put I equal to 0, you will get the first term. So minus 1 raised to 0 is 0, 1. 2 into 0 plus 1 is 1. X raised to 2 into 0 plus 1 is 1. So x. If you put y equal to 1, you will get the second term. Second term is minus 1 raised to 1 is my negative. So there is a negative sign here. 2i plus 1 is 3. 2 into 1 plus 1 is 3. So 3 factorial. And this is also 3. So x cube. If I put y equal to 3, what you will get is this term. I equal to 4, you will get this term. I equal to 5, you will get the next term. So and so on. Okay. So this equation is what we are going to do. So basically, if you see, it is just simple I value that we have to keep on changing. So when we have something like that, what we have to use is a loop. Okay. So we will be trying to implement this. Okay. So previous codes also we are going to use now. So here, if you see, this is the first code which we have written, factorial. So get an integer number, find the factorial and get back the factorial of the number as an integer. So this is the first function. We are again using it. I have written this description of the function here like this. It is always desirable to write descriptions like this. This is a second function which we saw in the last video. It is a function which will take in an angle which is given in degree. It will convert the angle to a radian and give it back as a double. Okay, so degree to radian and factorial. These are the function names. We will be calling those functions in the main. So we have already given the prototype here to avoid warning. So here what we will do is we will write the function which will take an angle x in theta in degree, and we will give the sine of an angle. Okay. So before that, let's say we will write a function, new function, a sine function. This sine function will basically take an angle in radians and do this sum and give it back. Okay, so that's a sine function that we are going to get. So let's say double is written sine d, let us say sine of degree, or maybe let's say just write sine, sine theta, we'll write sine theta of let's say double my angle, right? Now let's say I'll declare a variable int I. I will also declare another double result, okay, or output. Now for I equal to 0, I less than or equal to, let's say 5, I plus plus. So why I less than or equal to 5? What is this 5? So what I am telling you is, this is the I equal to 0 so correspond to first term, I equal to 1 correspond to second term, I is equal to 2 correspond to third term. So like that we are doing up to fifth term, or up to fifth term. Now why fifth term? So let's say what is the fifth term? Fifth term is 5 into 10 plus 1, okay, 11. So minus 1, so I is 5 means it will be a negative number. So fifth term, what is the fifth term? We'll just see the fifth term. So for I equal to 5, the term will be minus 1 raised to 5 is minus 1. 2 into 5, 10 plus 11. 11 factorial into x raised to 11. So this is the term, okay. So in this, if you find that we have to find 11 factorial. 11 factorial is a huge number, okay. So if you want to write the number, I'll just calculate it. So it is something of the order 3991680. Okay, so it's a very big number. 1 by that big number will be a very, very small number, okay. So basically these terms are not adding much to the total value of the sign, so that we can avoid this. So that is one reason. The second reason is when you try to find the factorial of bigger numbers like 12, 13, there is a lot of chance that it will go outside the capacity of an integer variable. So integer variables can store a number up to certain limit. So 12 factorial, 13 factorials, 13 factorial will obviously cross that value, okay. So what we are doing is we are limiting it to 5. 5 means level factorial. So there are two reasons. One is the number will be very small. Ultimately, whatever number we are adding to this series, the number will be very small because the 11 factorial will be very huge number. Second one, if factorial of numbers greater than 11 or 12, it will be the integer variable cannot be able to hold that because they don't have that much space. They don't have that much capacity. Okay. So I hope that is clear. So now what we'll do is output plus equal to, so output plus equal to means output is equal to output plus. So we have to use power. So now we have to use the power. So power means raised to, all these raised to we have to use. So for that we will introduce math.h. Right? So I can use power function POW. So first one is minus 1. Minus 1 raised to I. So that's the first term. Multiplied by x. What is x here? X is nothing but my angle. Okay, again this should be power. My angle, comma. So it is my angle raised to x raised to 2i plus 1. So here I can write 2i plus 1. Right? So 2i means 2 multiplied by I. Divided by factorial. Factorial of 2 multiplied by I plus 1. Right? So this is what I have written here. I have written nothing but this expression. So power of my angle, so power of minus 1, sorry, this should be minus 1. Power of minus 1 raised to I. So this is minus 1 comma I is this term. power of my angle comma 2i plus 1 is this term. So my angle is x. So basically whatever angle we have to find, sine theta of x. Okay. So that x is this one. Divided by factorial of this number is nothing but this term. So factorial, this is another one function which we have already written. So that we are using calling here. Okay. Semicolon. So that's all. Now after this we will return output. Right. I hope this is clear to you. This function is taking an angle. It is keeping up to 1 to 5. It is using the power series to evaluate what is the output. Finally, it is giving the output back to the main function. Now we have to call this. Only thing we have to do is call this. So let's say double angle in degree, comma angle in radian, then what? So I think this is only enough, comma value. So these variables I am declaring. So I'll give a prompt. I'll ask user, please enter the angle in degree. Okay, use scanf. Again, we are taking double, so percentage LF is the identifier, comma, we have to save this to angle in degree, angle deg. Okay, angle deg is the variable. Okay, so that is done. Now we have to call the function. So this value will be storing the result. So before that, we have to convert the degree to radian. So that is why I created the second variable, angle in radian. So I am converting it. How do you convert? I will use this function, degree to radian. Right, degree to radian of what is the angle? So basically angle in degree. So I am calling this function, and I am outputting. I am calling this function. So I am giving in angle in degree and getting back angle in radians. So I got the angle in radians stored in this variable, angle rad. Okay. Now I'll get the final value. So how do you get the final value? I will now have to call this function, sine theta. So sine theta of, we have to just give angle in radian. Okay. Now this value will have, the variable value will have the result, sine of the angle. Now we will give an output, printf value of sine of percentage LF is percentage LF. So we will limit to 2 decimal places. So first is input, angle degree, comma output value. Right. I hope this is clear. So now we will run this program. Let's see if there is some errors or something. So okay. So here there is a percentage sign. I missed it. Now let's say we will use with the standard value that we know, 30 degree. What is sine of 30 degree? It is supposed to be 0.5. Now it is giving me 3.643. So this error, I know why this error is happening. The reason that is in the sine function, output value I did not assign with 0. Okay. So always remember, you have to initialize your variables properly. Okay. Now we will see. We'll run again. Okay, there is a problem with the connection. So what is sine of 30 degrees? It should be 0.5. 0.5. It is giving us 0.5. Okay. So now I will just round this also to 2 decimal place. Input to decimal place, output to 30 decimal place. Now actually inside math.h we have this power function. We also have a sine function inbuilt. Okay, so we will try that also. So new variable value 2. The value of value 2 will be sine of angle in radians. So always you have to supply angle in radians. Now we will check this output also. This will be value 2. So value of sine from inbuilt function. Right? Now we will just check this. So let's say what is the value of sine 13. So sine 13 is 0.225 from our function. The inbuilt function also is giving 0.225. So it's absolutely matching. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you, this program. Always if you want to use sine functions, cos function, use the inbuilt functions. That is better. Don't go and write your own functions because these are already used there. So this is the advantage of functions. Functions are already written by somebody. We are able to use it. So all this program which we have done today should have been saved if you just write this one single line, because they have already done the program. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. This I am supposed to bring it down so that I'll complete it properly, and I'll give a prototype here so that we can avoid warnings. So I hope this is clear to you. Try your own functions. There is actually a similar Taylor expansion for cos series. I think you can try that your own and check with the cos function. So like sine, there is a cos inbuilt function also in math.h. So to get this sine, you have to use math.h. So this is the advantage of procedural or using modular programming, using functions. The entire program is just this much line. Okay, so all these functions we have written and already written, you can just keep on reusing them. So that's it for today. Thank you. We'll see you in the next video.